Hey, what is going on, you guys? The name is SubZeroExtabyte and I want to thank you all for clicking on the video. I mean, you could have been doing anything that you would want right now, and you decided to spend your time today with me, which I think deserves some respect. But yeah, this is another video in Minecraft. You guys know that I have been loving the Minecraft stuff lately, even though there have been some things happening that I might not have wanted to happen. But yeah, that is something that I will touch up on a lot when I am playing Minecraft. But this video is going to be a little bit different than usual, since this is going to be one big story time. So the clips that you are going to be watching are pretty old. The footage is kind of old, and I do not have any voice recordings for them, since they are just gone or something. I am not sure what happened to those. But yeah, this is something that happened a long time ago, and I just kind of want to touch up on this footage. And the reason why I decided to upload this footage after such a long time, well, let me just say that this is a story that has got to be told. It is like Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I mean, you could be able to live without that movie, but the story just fits in so well with the rest of the saga, that you will just have got to see this movie. And you can kind of say the same thing when it comes to this video right here. So I hope that you are going to enjoy this video, even though it is a little bit different. And I just hope that you like this style of video, since it might be a little bit weird since we are trying something new here. So the story goes as followed. Once upon a time, and I may say that that time was a very long time ago, if that makes sense. But alright, never mind, I will start over. For dramatic effect, it is the first time that I am doing something like this, so please bear with me. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, there was one brave survivor who found the legend of the Pac-Man. It was a very strange time, as I may say so. It was a time full of turmoil and there was a lot of confusion about a lot of things, which is pretty normal when you have been watching SubZeroExtabyte his videos lately. But we will not start getting into that right now. This individual called SubZero found a pretty normal chest on the top of a hill that he climbed. He did not think too much of it, since it was just a chest. But inside of the chest there was an egg, and he did not know what to do with an egg, and he had no idea what kind of an egg it was. He only knew that it was colored yellow with big black dots, and that was it. But after finding said egg, he saw something that did not look into place with the rest of the big landscape of Minecraft. So he decided to go and check it out, which was kind of amazing, since this Sub-Zero individual is kind of a daredevil, if I may call him that myself. I mean, he is not the superhero Daredevil. I mean, come on. It is not like he is blind and can kick a bad guy his butt. He is already struggling with a couple of noobs. But as I was saying, he decided to go over to the building that he saw, but it was getting dark, so he had to wait for the next day, which is of course the better thing to do when you would have been in his shoes, because his mom told him that he had to be home before sundown. So that is basically what he ended up doing in between yesterday and the day that you are seeing right now. It is a long story. Just follow me along on this one, okay? I am trying my utmost best here to tell a cool story for you guys, so please just appreciate it, and otherwise do not shoot the messenger, because I am just a messenger, since I am the one reading the story to you. But as you can see in the footage, the young SubZeroExtabyte had no idea what was going on after he popped that egg open. There were a lot of thoughts going through his mind. For example, what is happening, and what can I do? And why did my mom make SpaghettiOs for dinner when she said she would make meatballs? Well, as you can tell, the guy had a lot of questions that were just going to be left unanswered. So I took the opportunity and of course the responsibility to answer his questions. So question 1, what is happening? Well, Sub, I do not have a clue. Moving on to question 2, what can I do? Well, Sub, instead of dying to that thing every darn second, you could try your best to outrun it, or at least do something. And then moving on to question 3, which was, why did my mom make SpaghettiOs for dinner when she said she would make meatballs? Well, Sub-Zero, that was because you did not finish your plate of meatballs last time, so you are not getting any right now. But eventually SubZeroExtabyte was able to get his head out of his butt, and he decided to face the Pac-Man head on. Oh, by the way, the thing that was inside of the egg, well, it was a gigantic freaking Pac-Man, and it was kind of freaky to stand so close to it, to be honest. But you know, at least I did something right. I mean, at least Sub-Zero did something right. But the Pac-Man was not someone who you would want to mess with. Young Sub-Zero tried everything that he could, and he tried to shoot arrows into its big mouth, but nothing seemed to work, which sadly for him, is not what he had hoped for. I mean, he wanted to kill it, but taming it would be kind of cool as well. But well, you know, He did not end up taming it. I am just going to be a big spoiler right now, but he did not actually end up taming the beast. But what he did was pretty much just a sad excuse for trying to look like Legolas, and ending up failing horribly. Now of course there is nothing so good as a nice fight between a monster and a peasant, so just enjoy this in silence. Okay, so he ended up dying right there. And that is pretty much all she wrote for that part of the fight. But Sub-Zero had a little more fight left in him, and he fought a good fight already. But he just could not let this one go. And to be honest, Sub-Zero is not really a violent person, but he had to do what he had to do to protect his people. And by his people I mean, just him, because he is probably one of the most lonely Minecraft characters out there. He does not have any kind of friends except for those subs of his or something like that. But basically all that he was doing was delaying the inevitable, and that was a certain death. I mean, there was no going around the fact that Sub-Zero was going to get wrecked. Time after time after time. But at least there is one thing that you would be able to take away from this, and that is the fact that whatever happened, Sub did not care about the fact that he got smacked down to the ground and got tossed around. No, he did not care about anything like that. He just wanted to make sure that whatever he did, he ended up doing it right, since he had a lot of stuff going on, and he just wanted that Pac-Man to be gone forever. So he did not care about the dying, and he did not care about all of the hurt and the pain that was inflicted to him. And that might be the mentality of a total dumb guy, but it was also something that most people would call to be very heroic. So take it with a grain of salt, or just take it or leave it. I really do not care at all. I mean, I am just telling you guys the story. You can do with this information whatever you want in the world. It is just that he wanted to do something that would be beneficial for him, and that he needed to do whatever it took to get it done. And I think that is pretty heroic if you think about it. I mean, he just ended up risking his life and losing his life just because he believed in something. And to be honest, the thing that he believed in and what he was trying to do was just stupid to begin with. But he did not care about any of that, because he just wanted to prove something to everyone else, that he actually could be the one that kept this Minecraft realm safe for everyone to enjoy. And of course later everybody started to take advantage of that. I mean, everyone and their mom are going into his Minecraft realm to just fool around, and I cannot really say that I blame them. I mean, he has done a pretty stupid thing there. He should have just left that Pac-Man out there swerving through the wilderness, so that every noob that he came across was able to get defeated by the same mouth that ended up defeating him in the first place. But that is just my honest opinion about this matter today. Actually, all of this kind of reminds me of that one time where SubZeroExtabyte decided to play that new game with the angry wall or some stuff like that. It was kind of weird to see, and he got killed a lot of time because of that thing. But somehow he still managed to just pull through and make it out. Now of course we know that Sub-Zero will make it out of this story as well, since we all know that this footage is pretty old, and Sub-Zero is still around. But it is the way, it is the process that counts right here. I mean, there is more to all of this than just some simple slang and stuff, because nothing right here has anything to do with physical strength. No people, all of this has to do with mental strength. And apparently Sub-Zero is the mental equivalent of Arnold freaking Schwarzenegger. I mean, he never stopped. He just went on and on. And you may not know this right now, but at some point the physical hurting does not hurt as much as the mental hurting. So that is just something to think about right now, because this is pretty much all that he had at this point, and he decided to just shine on and make sure that everything that he had fought for was something that he was still going to be able to fight for in the next couple of years. I mean, he could have just given up and dropped dead right then and there, but he did not do that. He ended up persevering, he ended up fighting on, and he ended up making a lot more of these videos for you guys. So you will have to see this as something more than just a video about him defeating the Pac-Man, or not defeating the Pac-Man. I do not want to spoil this moment right here, but there is just more to that than just what he was doing. He was not doing all of this just to save himself, or just to save that particular Minecraft realm. If he had not shown the mental fortitude to finish that Pac-Man, and stand up after every knockdown, then maybe right now there would not be any SubZeroExtabyte, and I am sure that you guys would not be watching this right now, because he would have given up on his dreams, and I would not be here to tell his story. So just think about that for a second. There is more to this than an everyday struggle in life, and like I said, Yes, SubZeroExtabyte was hurting, and SubZeroExtabyte was in pain, but he never quit, and because of that, you guys are still here watching this video, except for the fact that everyone would have clicked off of the video, and this part of the video remains unseen by literally everyone, which is kind of weird. But maybe just let me know in the comments if you were able to just plow through this video in one go, because I know that this is a little different than what you would get used to every day when you watch these videos. But this is just not a story that I could pass on. I thought that I had to do this for my very best friend who is called SubZeroExtabyte, and I am also pretty sure that you guys would have mad respect for this video, just because it shows that SubZeroExtabyte cares so much about his friends and followers and fans that he just got the mental strength to pull through all of this, because if he did not do that, then he would have a lot of disappointed people sitting next to him every day, because even though things get tough sometimes, he always ends up pulling through because of you. So I don't know about you guys, but this is going to get pretty mental. I am not really sure what to expect from this, but I bet that it is going to be really hard. I have seen a couple of videos where people fought the Pac-Man and it looked really hard to me, but it looked like they were all lucky enough to get back to their home. So I hope that this will happen to me as well, and otherwise, you know, someone will probably have to come find me. I just hope that I do not get killed or kidnapped or something, and some creep finds me and he locks me up in his basement and he will keep me for all eternity. I am not really about all of that, so I just hope that I get straight back to my home so that my friend can literally love me. That is probably the funniest thing about all of this, the fact that I'm going to get loved. But yeah, I am hopeful that all of this will go right at the first try, and otherwise I will have no idea what will happen to me if someone finds out that I am actually inside of that Pac-Man. So let's just hope that I do not get eaten. So this is actually pretty fun for now. I mean, I would have never though that this was the way that this Pac-Man would take me. So I guess that is some kind of a learning experience now that I can actually see what is going on inside of this new world. But I mean, these Pac-Mans are going fast and they are pretty reckless. No wonder they always lose stuff or get killed by a ghost. I mean, would you just look at this dump? We are speeding over these hills with like 100 miles an hour. That is like 70 miles an hour over the hilltop speed limit. Someone should notify the authorities about these illegal street races or illegal home races on hilltops. But then again, that is basically the same stuff. But I bet that you guys have noticed that I actually went to the North Pole a couple of weeks ago, and I saw what kind of methods those Santa's little helpers were using, and they do things way more delicate. They are not just throwing around with me and such, because if they do not handle those Pac-Men well then they will have to answer to Santa Claus. And even though he is the nicest guy on the planet, he can still be very intimidating when you do not follow his rules. But come on people, you cannot tell me that this is what usually happens to Pac-Man or other people. I mean, that was a big struggle back there. Well, that would basically explain why my mailman always smells like a butt. But hey, I cannot complain about my mailman. He is the nicest guy that I know, except for Santa Claus of course, but hey, who can compete with the real Santa Claus? I mean, no one can. But my mailman is just the best and the most honest dude that I know. He is always on time, and he makes sure that he hides the packages well enough when I'm not at home so that people cannot just steal them. And I mean, people will try to steal them, but he's the best. That way, I mean by still delivering them to me instead of just taking them back to the depot. He saves me. He literally saves me with that. But something that also saves me are you guys. And I hope that you learned this through this video. I love you guys always.